So I'm going to show you what the test looks like when you pull it up. And then we're going to go to a preview so I can do a little bit extra things with, well, I'll show you. Just shut up, Hubert. Go to main menu and of course go to quizzes and tests. And there is your Unit 1 test. As you will see, look there. Due date. Wow. That actually MyLabs Plus will actually tell you when there's a due date. Let's see if that works for homework too. Let's see.
We're stuck on the screen that shows your email.
Uh-oh.
Or I at least am.
Oh, okay, what?
I see MyLabs Plus and now your attendance tracker.
Okay, I'm going back to MyLabs Plus. Okay, you might have a delay at your wireless. Are you at home, Miss Stewart?
Yes.
Where are you calling from?
My computer at home.
I mean, are you in Anderson?
Yes.
Okay, I don't understand why you're getting such a delay. Do you see my screen now on MyLabs Plus?
I see. Yeah. Are you on homework?
Yes.
Screen? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. I'm with you now.
Okay. And there, for all the people that are so worried about the homework, look at there. So when Hubert does the preview test, he puts the date on the test and he puts the dates on the homework. And I usually give you 1 day because technically y'all should be done with all the homework. Y'all should be working on 3.4 and 3.5. That's what, I mean, that's for somebody that's behind. Okay. And I usually give you 1 day to send questions, which will be Monday. And just to mention, I will be in class at AC on Monday for anybody that needs me to be there. I mean, I don't really, my department head says I need to be there on Monday, 1 day a week. We need to meet face to face. And I'm like, these students don't care. But anyway, so 3.4 and 3.5, that if somebody's behind, they should be on 3.4 and 3.5. They might have a couple that they hadn't done on 3.2, but that's it. If you're on 1.1 and 1.2, then you're a procrastinator. I knew there would be some in here. I don't know if there's any in this class, but I knew there would be some. But there's the due dates. So golly, it works like clockwork. When the test, the homework, okay, I see what he's doing now. All right, so go back to the quizzes and tests. Not only does it give you the due date, but it gives you the time limit. Now let me go ahead and say this, and I say this in all my classes, because I do have a few people that are documented and need extra time, but I already give you extra time because this is a 50-minute test. So I give you an extra 40 minutes from the get-go, and that's for everybody. Why do I give you 90 minutes on a 50-minute test? So you won't give me an excuse. So there's 90 minutes, and I'll show you how I get that 50 minutes. I'll show you how I get that. And look at there, 0, 3 attempts. So here I give you the due date, I give you the time limit, and I give you how many attempts. So there's 3 questions that MyLabs Plus will answer, even though you think you have to ask the teacher. Takes the higher of the 3. So if you make a 98, you don't need to send me an email and ask me if you need to take the other 2 tests, because you're going to get a 0 for the other 2 tests. 98 is the highest grade, so 98 will be calculated into your grade. And it's been working good for me for the last 20 years. Using MyLabs Plus, it's been working very good. I haven't had any hiccups. Now, I'm going to show you right quick how I get to this. So here's the test. Come on. Here it is right here. I'm going to go into edit. And next. And if you'll look, there is the time for the test. Each question has an average time. Basically, all these are homework questions. Does everybody understand that? And the MyLabs Plus keeps up with the time that every student in the United States takes to do that problem number 23. And it gives MyLabs Plus an average time. Now, we're not talking about 5 students. We're probably talking about 5,000 students taking that number 23. And it usually takes, on average, a student 49 seconds to do number 23. So you take all those and add them up, and there's a few that don't have times on them because they're test questions. So there's some that don't have times on them. Well, they all have times on them. Good. Then the bonus questions, I give you all a few minutes for the bonus question. I give you all 10 minutes for the bonus questions, which means about 30, 45 seconds for each bonus question. And that equals 50 minutes. Okay. So that's how I know, and you're really under 50 minutes, you're at 40 minutes. So I'm basically giving you an extra 50 minutes. You got 34 questions. Now, why you got all these questions, Hubert? Because each question pulls from different questions. So you're not going to get the same question on the second attempt. They're randomized, they regenerate different numbers, and they're in different orders. So for number 1, you got 5 or 4 questions to pull from, but that may not be your number 1. That may be your number 10. It all depends on what the computer gives you. So that right there, this is a 41-minute test. So when I give you an extra 90 minutes, I'm giving you plenty of time to do a 40-minute test. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let me talk about the security of the test. If you go outside of the testing area with your cursor and you click on something like Khan Academy or how to do this problem or homework, then the computer will send me a message that you went outside of the test and access has been revoked. That's what the message will say. If the electricity goes out, it will send me another message that says the electricity went out, or it'll send me another message that says your wireless went out. It sends me a connectivity message when something like that happens. And usually your access is not revoked. Your access on your homework and your test will be revoked if you move outside of the area and click on one of these tabs up here or click on something outside the test area. Okay? So I'm going ahead and warning you, do not write me an email to tell me my power cut out and the house fell in and it cut off my access. The only reason it's cutting off your access is because you tried to cheat. So don't lie on top of that. What you need to say is, just for the first time, because after 3 times it's going to be, we're going to have a prayer meeting. Okay? The first time you send me an email, you say, if you could unlock my access. That's all you need to say, because I know what is happening. You went outside the test area. Okay? So now it's not going to work on mine because I'm the teacher, but it will work on yours. So make sure you stay inside the test area. I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and click on your test before I go into the preview and show you what it looks like when you click on the test. There it is. And it says, okay, for those that didn't read before, this is Unit 1 test. You have 34 questions, 20 math questions, well, 21 or 22 math questions, and then about 10 or 12 bonus questions. It's due on 9/18 by midnight, and you have 3 attempts. This test will affect your study plan score. I don't care about that. And you have 90 minutes to complete the assignment. do you want to start the test? Now, the reason they ask you this again is because they want you to look out the window of your house and make sure there's not an ice storm, that there's not a lightning storm or a thunderstorm, and also look around the house and make sure there's not 15 kids running around and 3 or 4 people in the bonus room watching the football game and all this going on. All right. So you got to use a little bit of common sense to make sure you are ready to take the test in your environment. Start the test. And it starts the test. And I do give you access. Let me get to a problem where I want to see if they give you, yes, you are able to use Excel. I've given you that option. You can use Excel. Now, excuse me. And if you have a Google Chromebook, you can use the clipboard to copy this into I don't know what it's called, Chrome spreadsheet or whatever. So if you've got another type of spreadsheet, you will use copy to clipboard and copy into the spreadsheet. Okay, but I don't know if you can access that spreadsheet because it's not inside, so you're going to have to use Excel. I've tried to enable StatCrunch, but I'm not able to do that. Okay, so I wanted to see if that showed up, and it does. Open in Excel. So you can use Excel if you have it on your computer, which everybody should, because Office, except your Chromebook, Office, if you've got Teams, you've got Excel. So that takes care of that. All right, so that's what the test looks like to y'all. When I mean outside of the test area, if you make this maximized, you don't have to worry about it because you can't go out of the test area. See? You can down here, and if you click on one of these or click on a tab up here, or if you click on this or homework, then it's going to shut down the test and you're not going to be able to get back into it. And the only way that you'll get back into it is to go through me, and that's when you send me an email, and all you need to say is, please give me access. Don't say anything else because I don't need to know anything else. After 3 times, we're gonna have a prayer meeting. Okay, and I'll start either giving you a 0 and I've never had problems with this, or deducting points. Okay, but I've never had problems with it. I've only had one person, I've only had a few people, and they tried to lie to me and say that the lights went out and all this, and that's not the case. Okay, so that's the security of the test. So make sure the best thing to do is to maximize the test like that, so you're not tempted to go outside the test, even down here. So please just stay away from this down here and just stay inside the test. Now, I think it doesn't matter, because when you pull up Excel, that will probably be okay because you're still inside the test here. Okay, I don't think they would give you access to Excel and then shut down the test because you were in it. Okay, and I've never seen people, nobody's ever told me they had any problems in Excel. All right, now I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to show you what the test looks like. I'm just going to go use the preview that I have. Assignment Manager, and I'm going into preview. I can move around a little bit better with preview. There it is. Okay, so here we go. SAS was used to compare the high school dropout rates for 30 schools districts in one city, 2010 and 2012. The box plots generated for these dropout rates are provided below. There they are. Now, what does this show? Well, this shows there's the end of that line and the end of that line. There's the end there and the end there. So this has a smaller spread. This has a larger spread because this is larger. And here's the rates, 12, 24, and 36. So it looks like these, most of the, since this has got, this bar is up here toward the top of the box plot, that means the mean is on this side. So that means you got numbers that are higher right here. This one, the mean is on the lower side, so that means your numbers are lower right here. So this one has a higher yield or point value. And so 2010 is your higher, and it's also got better data because the spread is lower. So which one says that? 2010. So dropout rates had a higher average and a higher average. So it's either Alpha or Charlie. And it says more variability or less spread. Variability is another word for spread. So I would say it's Alpha. And you feel good about yourself. Now you don't have that button. That's just for me to show y'all what the answer is. And there's the answer. Okay, next question. Determine whether the variable is qualitative or quantitative. Favorite musical instrument. What is that? Somebody tell me what that is.
Qualitative.
Qualitative, because you can't take the average of musical instruments. So it's qualitative, so it's going to be either A or D, as in Delta. So it's going to be characteristic. And you feel good about yourself. Next. Now, of course, the reason for me going through this test is not to show you the answers. That's not the point of doing this. The point of doing this is to show you what the test looks like. There's the clock, blah, 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 how it works, that you can use Excel, blah, blah, blah. That's what it's for. Because your test is not going to be exactly like this one. It may be similar, but it's not exactly. So here's Excel spreadsheet. And we're going to do a 5-number summary. This is like the homework question we did the other day. If not, I did it in the other class and it's on tape, so you can watch it. All right, so I'm going to do a 5-number summary. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in order. I'm going to make sure it's in order. I didn't look to see if it was. It wasn't. Okay, and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to put min, max, or first, second, third, and max. And might as well put the mid-range also because we need it. So the min is going to be equal to this guy. The max is going to be equal to this guy. We got 13, so that means the middle number is going to be our median. And let's go ahead and do the mid-range. This guy plus the max divided by 2. And now let's see how many numbers are above the median. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got to go with these middle 2. And that's going to be equal to the lower one plus the upper one divided by 2. And the third is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those 2. Equals parentheses this number plus this number divided by 2. Now I do realize I've got a degree in everything. I realize that that's the same number, okay? But I go through the motions to show you that you take the average of the middle 2. Okay. So there is our stuff. And there's our 5-number summary. So now I'm going to take my handy dandy annotator. And I'm going to draw a line. Let's see, I'm going to try to draw it. I need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to try 6 and see if that'll work. Okay, and we got an end right here. And an end right here. And I'm going to put my min right here. Make sure all these are centered and bold. And that's going to equal my min. And that's going to equal my mid-range. And this is going to equal my max. Okay, so those 3 are used. So we don't need those 3 numbers right there. The only 3 that are left now is the blue. But first we got to do some graduating. We got to make sure that we know where everything is on the number line. So, oh gosh, these are aggravating. So, yuck. Let's see, 0.6, 0.6. Oh gosh, you're talking minuscule right here. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator. I'm just going to do it with my calculator. Now you need to make sure you have a calculator by your side, by your laptop, not you're not going to have one on your computer anyway. So let me go and get the calculator. Sorry. Messed that up. Sorry. I didn't know I was going to have these decimals. All right, so I need to find the middle of these two, and that's going to be 0.599 plus 0.6055 equals divided by 2. I'm finding the mid-range of the mid-range of the mid-range. So that's 0.602. So right here is 0.602. So 0.602. And this one right here is going to be 0.6055 plus 0.612 divided by 2. 0.609. So that one's going to be 0.609. It's easier. Okay. Now I'm going to draw the box plot. 0.605, we're going to take our blue marker, make it a little bit thicker. 0.605 is right here, really. And our green marker, 0.61, well, there's 0.609. So 61 is right in here. And then your yellow marker is 0.609. Which is right here. So it looks like to me that this this data is a little bit skewed what? A little bit skewed what? Skewed left. Okay, because most of the data, this is the center right here. I kind of drew it off, but the center is right here. So most of your data is on the right, which means skewed left. Somebody said something. Hold on. Good. Thank you. I'm not used to students interacting, Mr. Passetti. I'm sorry. I'm used to everybody sitting there like a bump on a log. So sorry. And again, the students say nothing. I don't know why y'all doing this to me. I hadn't done anything to y'all. I hadn't made y'all mad. Why y'all treat me like this? It hurts. It really does. And y'all don't care. So that's the questions. So I'm not going to answer all those. Now, if you want to write those down, there's your 5-number summary. And just to give you another interquartile range, lower limit and upper limit. I'm doing this just because, you know, we went over it the other day. The interquartile range is equal to the third quartile minus the first quartile. And then the lower limit is your first quartile minus parentheses 1.5 times the interquartile range. Your upper limit is the third quartile plus parentheses 1.5 times the interquartile range. Now the question is not asking that, but just for your information, the interquartile range numbers comes from the 5-number summary. Okay, so I'm going to write down this information. So because I'm not going to ask y'all for it, because y'all won't answer me. So 0.599, 0.605, 0.609, 0.61, and 0.612. I think that's the only thing, because the rest of it's going to be which one does it look like, what does the picture look like, and is it skewed left or skewed right? And ours is skewed left. So that's that. So I'm going to type in 0.599, 0.605, 0.609, 0.61, and 0.612. And it's skewed left, which means Charlie. That's normal. This is skewed right. This is skewed left. And that should be your answer. And I think if I didn't go over this question in this class, I know I went over it in the 109 or the 120-29 because I remember doing these 3 things. One year, Terry had the lowest ERA. This is Z-scores. There it is right there, Z-scores. So we're going to do, I think we did one like this one. So anyway, let's take our handy dandy. I'm trying, hold on. There we go. Okay, so 1 year Terry had the lowest ERA of any male pitcher, and his ERA, and we'll do his in blue, his ERA was 2.66. And what's his name? Terry. His ERA was 2.66. Julie had an ERA and of 3.27. Julie had an ERA of 3.27. For the males, the mean was 3.796. with a standard deviation of 0.623. For the females, the ERA, the mean was 3.902, and the standard deviation was 0.658. So you got to calculate a z-score for each one. So 2.66 minus 3.796 divided by 0.623. And 3.27 minus 3.902 divided by 0.658. So you take your handy dandy calculator and you do 2.66 minus 3.796. If I can read my own writing. Divide by 0.623. So I get a z-score for Terry of negative 1.82. So now let's do Julie. 3.27 minus 3.902 divided by 0.658 and negative 0.96. So that means that Terry, since he's closer to the outlier, he has a better ERA comparing to the two. So Terry had an ERA z-score of negative 1.82 and negative 0.96. So Terry had a better year because of a lower z-score. Next. Bonus question, the only one that is feasible. Compute the range. Okay, I'm not going to compute the range with the calculator, and hopefully you don't have to. 28 divided by 28 minus 7 is 21. Maybe I should take those off the test. Those are too easy. What do y'all think? Nothing.
Leave them.
You want to leave them? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Stewart. I appreciate your interactiveness. Thank you. All right. An Excel printout of some descriptive statistics for a set of data is shown to the right. What is the IQR? Oh gosh, you got to be kidding. This is too easy. 20.5 minus 5 is 15.5. I need to take that one off too. Healthcare issues are receiving much attention in both academic and political arenas. A sociologist recently conducted a survey of citizens over 60 years of age whose net worth is too high to qualify for government health care, but who have no private health insurance. The age of 25 uninsured senior citizens, suppose the mean and standard deviation right there, blah, 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 respectively. Assuming that the distribution of ages is bell-shaped, what percentage of the respondents will be between 64 and 93.4? Okay. This one is z-score that you have to look up, and I thought that was in chapter 7. I didn't know this one was on here. Shoot. All right, I'm going to show you how to do it, but let's see. Let's see what the chart looks like. I hope this isn't what I think it is. It shouldn't be. That's in chapter 7. So here's what it's going to look like. All right, so we got 74 74 in the middle. And of course, they love to give you decimals. So 74 plus 9.7 is 83.7 plus 9.7 93.4 plus 9.7. I was scared they wanted you to do a z-score, but I don't think they do that until chapter 7. Now we're going to subtract 74 minus 9.7, 64.3, and minus 9.7, 54.6, and minus 9.7, 44.9. So now we got to fill out the empirical rule, because I think that's what this question is. So pink is going to be the outliers. Blue is going to be unusual. And normal is going to be green. And if you know your empirical rule, you know that this is 95%. And you know that this is 2.35%. And you know this is 0.15%. And just so you know, this is 34, 34, 13.5, and 13.5. Okay, so now we're ready for the question after we filled out our empirical rule. So let's see what it says now. It says between 64.3 and 93.4. So somebody that's 68 plus 13.5. 68 would be 81, so it'd be 81.5. Somebody check my math, please. 34 plus 34 plus 13.5. That means I want somebody to interact with me, please. All right, this is getting ridiculous, y'all. Y'all can't hear me or what? Can y'all hear me? Is there a video or an audio problem?
81.5.
81.5. Thank you.
Word.
So that's that. Next. And I'm not trying to get through the whole test. I'm not trying to do that, okay? I'm just showing y'all what kind of questions. I can hear you now. The internet on campus isn't the best. Oh my gosh. Wow. It might be mine. But anyway, find the standard deviation. I'm going to show y'all a trick to help y'all out on Excel. Now, make sure you write this down because I hadn't showed you this. Okay, first put it in order. Make sure it's in order. I think it is. Yeah, it is. All right, now watch this. Equals STDEV parentheses, and copy those, and close parentheses. And enter. There's your standard deviation. I'll do it again. Equals STDEV, parentheses, highlight the numbers, close parentheses. You're welcome. So 1.58, let's see what they want to round to. So A. Oh, they want you to round, okay, 1.6. I'm sorry. Okay. Round to 1 decimal place. Make sure you read the directions. I didn't. That's why I got it wrong. Okay, 8.48, the only one that equals to 100. When does the homework terminate? Toward the end of the unit material, when Hubert sets the date in MyLabs Plus during class. Find the standard deviation again. Oh gosh, maybe I should edit this test. What do y'all think? I think I need to go back and take some off. Some of these are just real simple. Equals standard deviation, parentheses, all these numbers, close parentheses, 1.58 again. I don't know why it comes out to be the same. That's just a coincidence. It may be, or it may be just to give you extra points. Don't screw it up. There's a z-score. So go ahead and let's do this one. A television station claims that the amount of advertising per hour of broadcast time has an average of 13 minutes and a standard deviation of 1.6 minutes. So I'm going to draw, when I see those words, a mean of 13 and a standard deviation of whatever, that means draw the damn curve. So, may not need to, but I'm going to. That's why I told you to copy for the one person that did it. 13. That's 14.6. 15.2. And what? 16.8. I hope I did that right. 13 minus 1.6. Here's where I'm really going to suck. That'd be 11.4. And I already suck. Let me use a calculator. 11 or 13 minus 1.6. I'm checking my work. 11.4 minus 1.6. I would ask y'all to fill these in, but that ain't going to happen. 9.8 minus 1.6. 8.2. This is a z-score of 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And of course, 34, 34, 13.5, 13.5, 2.35, 2.35, and 0.15. And now I'm ready for the question. You watch station for 1 hour at a randomly selected time and carefully observe that the amount of advertising time is equal to 20 minutes. Calculate the z-score for this amount of advertising time. Well, 20 minutes would be somewhere in here, right? So let's see, 14 to 15. I'm sorry, 20 minutes would be way out here. I'm sorry. It said 20 minutes. 20 minutes would be way out here, so it's going to be at least 3 something. So let's see. I'm 16.8. That's 17. Oh gosh, you're talking about 4 or 5, z-score of approximately 4 or 5. So let's see. 20 minus 13 over 1.6 is equal to 7 divided by 1.6. And 7, where's my calculator? 7 divided by 1.6 is equal to 4.4 or 4.38. And that's your answer, 4.38. Now, I'm going to take the remainder of the class, which is 7 minutes, which some of y'all will go into convulsions if I don't, 8:55. Actually, I got 2 minutes. So I'm going to take the remainder of the 2 minutes, and I'm just going to show you what the rest of the test is made up of. So you might want to write this down, math versus bonus, math versus bonus. So the next question is a bonus question. The next question is a bonus question. Next question is a bonus question. It's not supposed to do this, but I'm not in the test. I'm in preview mode. So he gives me extra points, and he drops the lowest 2 grades. So don't ask me for extra credit on the weekend, on the end of the semester. Population mean. Now, this question right here can get you. It says find the population mean or sample mean as indicated. What do they give us? Population or sample? I want somebody to read that word. Population. So which answer is it? The Greek letter or the regular letter?
The regular.
The Greek.
Oh.
Population parameter is Greek letters. That's from chapter 1. Go back in your notes. This is a chapter 1 question and a chapter 3 question. It's a mixed question. So if this said sample, you would pick A because that's a regular letter. It's called a lowercase statistic. Population parameter, Greek letter. Sample, if this said sample, it would be a lowercase statistic, which means X. And let's see, 11 plus 17 is 38. What's that, 54? 54, 60 divided by 5 is 12, isn't it? I don't know. Is 60 divided by 12, 5? I think it is. I may be wrong.
Yeah, it is.
I added them wrong. So, see, I got it wrong. There it is, 5. Because it said population. Okay, I added wrong. Next. What should Hubert do? What if you're out of class? Communicate. Bonus. Compute the range. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I put all these on here. 167 minus 34 is what? 24? 134? No, 133. Next, that's a math question. Homework assignment. The 0, if you don't do a homework assignment or a test, a 0 will be put in its place. Find the sample standard deviation. I'm not going to do that one. Math question. How is it counted? He takes the highest grade of each unit test. 0 has been placed. Bonus question.
Priority 1
Qualitative, is this discrete or continuous? Number of bacteria seen on a microscopic slide. Number. Is that discrete or continuous? It's discrete because you count numbers. Continuous is measured, like height, meters, liters, grams. Height, distance, volume, and weight. That's continuous. Number, that's something that you count. That's a math question. Math question. The only one with United States in front of it. If you miss a test and you believe it is correct, you see me after class. I'm trying to hurry for those of you convulsing. Sample variance, math question. Z-score. This looks like a Z-score question. I don't know. No, I believe this is another empirical rule question. I think, I don't know. Compute the range. I'll do that one real quick. 20 minus 9 is what?
11.
Thank you. Although covered in his handouts, the best way to contact me is cell phone, whichever thing comes to my cell phone. So, compute the range. 14 minus 10. There is another,
4.
this is empirical rule. Do I replace your lowest test with your final grade? No way, no how. That's it. Hit submit, and you get your grade right there. And then you decide, well, I'm at 82. I won't take it again, or I'm not going to take it again. Whatever. You can review it right here. You can go through and see what you got wrong. Now you may have to do that after you submit it or after the due date. I can't remember. Okay, who's got questions? All right, let me look at the attendance right quick, just to make sure. I think it was Miss Hicks. Let me see if Miss Hicks showed up. Let me get my. I don't see Miss Hicks. She did not show up, so I guess I will call it a day then. Let me stop the recording and check right quick